Good evening. It is Wednesday. I don't even know the date. October 23rd. Am I right?
Yeah.
October 23rd.
You did it.
Yeah, I took a crap at it. So I would like to welcome everybody to the Vinnie Marino podcast. We are live in the Space Coast studios here in wonderful, astonishing Brevard County, and the city is Melbourne, or other words people call Suntree. So I'd like to be welcome everybody back. I'm trying to stay here every week, but some weekdays I have other things going on, and it prohibits me from getting on air, which I do miss it a lot. I like to chime in every week, with some kind of antics. But so tonight's show, we're going to be talking about your, what do you value your safety? Okay, well, a lot of people, we're cheap with certain things in our lives that we shouldn't be cheap on. Am I right, Producer Jesse?
Absolutely.
And just for an example, this is not on topic, but it's related to the things that we deprive ourselves with. And then I'll tell you what we don't deprive ourselves with. So, okay, what do we do mostly in our lives? Okay, we walk around on our feet. We sleep most of the time. I think more hours are spent sleeping and on your feet. So, and then people that sit down, they invest in an ass cushion because their ass hurts. But people, when they go to, and this is all tie in together, when people go and they go to buy shoes, they look for the deals, the clearance, and,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, buddy, the shoes are expensive, Nike, they probably make their shoes in sweatshops, and they probably make them for.
Oh, that's a big markup.
And then they sell them for $175 over here to us suckers.
Probably cost them $7 total.
But
to even
the demand
ship
are these younger generations. They want that. They can come out with a friggin' really unique type of shoe and charge $280 for it, and they'll buy it because it looks cool. And they show off, and everybody's got to have. And then they get it all from these movie stars and stuff, and these actors and these rappers and singers, and whatever they wear, that's the trendiest thing to wear.
Right.
So we go there and we try to get the cheapest shoe, and I'm guilty of it. I mean, I was, and then I developed a from. How the hell you develop it, I don't know, but plantar fasciitis.
Yeah, plantar fasciitis.
Feels like you stepped on a Lego or a rock, and it's freaking horrible. So it footwear does help. So I at that point I started buying the doctor recommended the podiatrist recommended the Brooks shoes, and we have a shoe store here called the Running Zone. And they tell you to walk. They see your step and everything else, and they fit you with a shoe that based on your gait.
Mm-hmm. Gait analysis.
Yeah. So then you see some of these people. They have the little charcoal thing. You step on this charcoal and you step and you see where your pressure points are on your feet, and that shit works. Mm-hmm. But if you want to buy a good, I'm not saying you have to buy a pair of shoes for $200. But a good pair of shoes is going to cost you roughly $110.
Yeah.
$110. So I start saying to people, why are you buying these cheap ass shoes? I see these kids, they're wearing these skateboard shoes. They have no arch support. They have nothing.
They're so cheaply made.
Yeah. And they're paying big money for them. What's the Vans and
even Converse.
Converse, Converse. I have a couple of the high tops, man.
Yeah, it's a gum sole and a canvas top. It's probably worth $3.50 in material.
Ask a podiatrist, and he'll tell you how good that shoe is on your foot. They're going to like it, Yeah. And they said if you want to know the stability of a shoe, you take the shoe and you hold it you hold it. Let me get it. Where am I? I'm all freaking lost with the camera. You got a different setup tonight. So, and you hold the shoe up, and then if you take it and mash it from heel to toe, and if it bends like it's a plastic bag, there's no support. A lot of runners have that. There's nothing. It's like running barefoot.
Right.
So when you do that, if you ever check your sneakers and tell you if it's got a good support for the meaty part of your foot, and that's where the plantar is a plantar.
Yes.
Okay. So if you can mash it and the toe just bends a little bit and it's really stiff, that's a freaking good shoe. So like New Balance, I mean, and nobody wants to wear New Balance because they look like old man walking shoes, you know. They do. They're not stylish. They're not cool.
No, they're horrible.
Yep. So I buy Brooks, and I buy them like a couple pairs at a time. And so back what I was getting at, you don't shortchange yourself on shoes because it's gonna affect you later down the road. The next thing is mattresses. Okay, you're gonna spend a couple $1,000s for a decent mattress. Who the freak wants to pay a couple $1,000s for a mattress? No, they want when they see one for $300. Right. Okay. You see these advertisements at these mattress joints, man. Mm-hmm. They say, "Hey, come in, $199 queen mattress," and you get there, and it's like, and you don't see any on display. There's like, well, where are the $199? Oh, see that wall back there? They're leaning on a wall. They look like freaking, like they made them on the show. What was that show? Survivor. Right. They're like bed shacks. They're like terrible. So I was like, Then what they do is they get you in and they upgrade you. And you need to get a good mattress because if you don't have a good mattress, you're gonna have a shitty night's sleep. You're gonna have all kinds of back issues and everything else. So, but what people don't discriminate on, okay, and then people bitch about, and I know I bitch too because our insurance sucks. Our health insurance sucks, right? And then when you go you don't want to go to the doctor because the co-pays are expensive, and it's like, oh fuck, but. And I'm guilty of this too. And I tried to remind myself every time I get into this situation and remind myself. When it comes to going on vacation, you don't freaking argue shit. You'll lay out $2,000 to go on a trip. You'll lay out $1,500 to put wheels on your car. You'll lay out, another $900 for a show or whatever. Right. You know what I'm saying, Jess?
Exactly. No,
but then you bitch when it's like, hey, these fucking shoes are expensive, or that damn, I'm buying a cheap mattress, and I'm arguing the price of it. But when it comes to our own well-being, you follow me?
Yes.
We scrimp on that. So what I was getting at is, and I'm not going to bash any company, okay? I'm not going to bash anybody. I mean, I'll bash myself sometimes if I'm doing things. But we got to think about what our safety's worth and what our peace of mind is worth. So, and what I'm gearing towards is, as you see, that's advertised on my screen, Q Limo. I happen to know the guy who runs that. And just a little bit about that company, it's a retired deputy sheriff, which is me, 32 years. I wanted to provide a service to people to give them the peace of mind in case they have doubts, I'm not saying just because somebody's a retired cop or a cop that you should give them 100%, trusting. But it's a place to start. They're verifiable. They have a track history. They have people that know them in the community. They're usually well respected. So I wanted to provide a service that was none. There's similarities, but there's none that provides the service that I offer. And, and I have people calling me and, I provide a different type of vehicle. I provide, a very high-end Mercedes-Benz, the flagship of the Mercedes-Benz. The vehicle is equipped with a professional driver. The driver can provide protective services. The driver can handle any situation that arises, most any situation, because the driver has been involved in most any situation and knows how to handle things. So we'll gear towards, okay, that's where you got to look at your peace of mind. So I ask people, and I'll ask Jesse.
Sure.
Do you ever hitchhike?
Yeah.
These days?
These days, no.
Okay.
I did it once.
Okay. Well, what I'm getting at is I ask people, would you go out there and hitchhike and catch a ride from somebody? Hell no. No way would I ever do that. Well, what are you getting when you call like Uber or Lyft? Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, I'm not going to bash them. I just talk facts. Okay. And these are facts that when I talk to people, they raise an eyebrow, go, holy shit. You know what? You're right. Mm-hmm. I never thought about that. Okay. So to be an Uber driver, because I looked into that, they don't require hardly anything to basically screen their people, you're doing it all on a computer. You're logging in, you're giving them all your information, and then you sign up. They don't care. They want as many. The more Uber drivers and Lyft drivers they get, the more money they make, because it's more wheels on the road and more people adding, people services. So I started doing some stuff, looking up at things. I'm saying, all right, so would you hitchhike? Nope. But when you hail for an Uber, okay, you don't need, all you get is a little screenshot of a guy's picture, if he's got one, with his name and the type of vehicle with a tag number. But does that alone, Jesse, give you the peace of mind?
No, there's no peace of mind. It's always a question. There's always a speculation. Who's going to show up? Is it going to smell?
Yeah, I mean, the Ubers that I've been in, they usually have 10 pounds of air freshener. It's like a glorified taxi cab, because a lot of them hang signs in the car. Give me a 5-star rating, and they got loads of air freshener. You don't know what kind of car you're getting. You don't even know who your driver is. You don't know if the driver is fluent in English.
Right.
And I'm telling you, I've met hundreds of them by working out at the port.
Yeah. That
are, when we ask, where are you going, they roll the back window down so the person who speaks English, being the passenger, can tell us where they're going. And I bark at them.
I don't doubt it.
I bark at the driver. I say, if you're going to haul people around in your car, know where you're going. I mean, do people feel comfortable? So what they want is, they don't care what they ride in. They just want to get a ride.
Right.
So they don't care. So it's the price. It's not their safety. It's all about price.
Right. They want value.
Right.
Except you don't always get value if it's cheap.
No. And then you get an Uber, and the Uber guy cancels you, because I've had people tell me they cancel, and then they still charge you.
Yep,
and then you got to fight with them to get it back.
We had to fight once.
Yeah. Or you get an Uber, and he takes you there. He doesn't know where he's going, and then it's a 40-minute ride, and it turns out to be 60 minutes. I had that before. And I had to call. I had to go through the Uber app, and I had to get them. They had to do their investigation. And they were able to say, hey, yeah, they followed his track and said, hey, yeah, you were only going 1.5 miles, and it took you like 30 minutes because he went the wrong way. And he didn't speak English good. He had his goddamn radio blasting loud. He had like a video screen, like a little TVs, and he had, dance music going on and stuff. And I'm like, I hailed an Uber from Mercedes-Benz in Melbourne. I was down there, and I was there late, and I didn't have a car for me. So I said, I'll just get an Uber. Well, it was about 15 miles. It costed me about $31. He showed up in a van, a big beat-up van, which it was like a minivan, but it wasn't in the cleanest condition. He drove me. He was nice and all, but I mean, he was wearing a tank top. He had a pair of shorts on and flip-flops. Okay, so I might as well be hitchhiking, because that's probably what I would have gotten if I hitchhiked.
Yeah.
And so people are wondering. The Uber drivers were all speaking, well, we got to be careful. We're getting people in our car, and we can be accosted. I think the people need to be concerned of who they're getting in the car with, because I did some my own, just research and stuff, and there's all kinds of incidents where, and I'm telling you, people, I had a lady call me and tell me that most women don't want to use Ubers.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you this, man. Crime is all about opportunity, okay? And I know I'm saying the average person who's never been in trouble, and there's a lot of good Uber drivers, but then, there's hundreds and thousands of Uber drivers. So not all of them are legit or have good purposes. A lot of them will gravitate around the club area where the clubs are, and all the drunk people come out and such. So when I say crime is an opportunity, so a guy, now I'm not talking like, the Harvard grad student or anything like that, but somebody who's trying to do good, trying to walk a straight line, He goes through a parking lot, and he's had no intentions. He's maybe walking into the grocery store and had no intentions in his mind ever to commit a crime, until he looked in the car and there was a purse or something that's visible. That is like, the opportunity, the temptation. You see what I'm saying? So from him not wanting to commit a crime or not thinking about one, now he's getting the demons telling him, oh man, he's looking around, he's thinking, oh God, I'll just smash this or see if the door's unlocked. and they do it. The door is either unlocked or they smash the window, and they don't go to the store. They take the purse, and they take off. So it goes to when a driver can pick up, they work the club areas, okay, the nightclub areas. And the driver picks up an intoxicated female, okay, and the female could be, friendly, joyful, having a good time. And in her mind, she's getting a safe ride home. You follow me, PJ? Okay, all right. You're gazing over there. So are you just getting a picture of this? Am I painting a picture?
You are painting quite a good picture.
So the girl, and it's no fault of anybody,
right.
Okay? No fault of the person. You should always feel that, you're doing the right thing because, Uber's a big company and stuff. But you got to remember, they're not screened. There are no background checks on them. As far as I know.
No.
I mean, I could just go on there right now and apply to be an Uber driver.
They just look at your driving record.
That's it.
Yeah.
Some criminals have great driving records.
No doubt.
And then how often do they screen you? So anyways, this intoxicated female assumes she's getting into, a safe, reliable ride. The guy, driving the car seems to be a nice guy, and he's looking. He's like, oh, wow, this girl's pretty. And she's friendly, and they engage in conversation. And then the conversation could, the girl could be, innocently flirting, or who knows, just innocently telling her about her night, and, her skirt could be coming up, or, she's just very attractive. Now, here's a guy who's an Uber driver, and this is somewhat, these are incidents that have actually occurred, feels, hey, you know what? I didn't have any idea or any assumption of raping anybody tonight, but damn, I don't know if I can resist this girl. I think she wants me.
Yeah.
And then the conversations get to be a little weird. The girl starts to, immediately sober up. And then it goes to where she's now feeling like, uh-oh, something ain't right. And can't get out of the car. So then, either the verbal assault, sexual assault, the battery occurs, but it happens. Mm-hmm. So for somebody who, and what I'm getting at is, what's your value? How do you value your safety? If you're cheap and you can't afford a hire car or anything like that, then call a friend to pick you up, somebody you know. But if you put all your confidence in the world and to get in a stranger's car, okay, an undocumented stranger, you don't know who he is, he has no references, you don't know his background, you don't know anything. And I'm not saying that anybody, with me, I have all kinds of grounds that I can prove, okay, as far as my background, my criterias, and everything else. So people want to price shop, and for $30 or $40, they'll just go, you know what? I just need a ride from the club, even though I'm drunk. I just get an Uber for $60. So you're valuing your safety for $60. And there's a lot of incidents, I have a list of incidents through alleged sexual assaults and harassments by Uber and Lyft drivers. And I'll just read some of the things, and if something you want to touch on. Uber driver arrested for sexual assault in Palo Alto. West Hollywood woman sues Uber for negligence after being raped by the driver. Chicago Uber driver charged with sexual assault on intoxicated passenger. These are Massachusetts Uber driver accused of harassing, groping female passenger. Wow. These guys are not trained in anything.
Right.
Okay. They don't realize, and I always say to any woman, if you're going to get into an Uber, at least have, and there's cases in here where there were multiple girls in a car and they were assaulted by an Uber driver. He wouldn't, they put the child lock on the door. And once you're in, you're in.
That's scary.
You fucking can't get out. So, woman claims Uber driver sexually assaulted her during ride to North Salt Lake City. Seattle Uber driver investigated for sexual assault. Toronto Uber driver charged with sexual assault. Honolulu Uber driver arrested for sexual assault. 2 East Lansing, Michigan Uber drivers charged with criminal sexual assault. It goes on and on. And there's, that might sound like a small number for the percentage of Uber drivers that are out there. But that's the chance you're going to take. The chance you're going to take is what am I going to do when I need a ride?
Right.
Okay. And I applaud everyone that gets on there and follows up who they're using, who they're hiring. How could you follow up and confirm before the guy picks you up? I mean, Ubers are like last minute things. So, and that's what you're getting. You're getting a last minute ride from a person that you have no clue. I don't see anything. I mean, the only ones I see that were, and mostly they're on females. Mostly the men, they're in fights with Uber drivers.
Yeah.
They get into fights with them over bullshit. They're drunk, and then the Uber driver and them have a problem. And but I'm telling you, Jess, this list goes on. Uber driver allegedly caught masturbating in front of female passenger.
Oh man.
I mean, it goes on and on. I'm just trying to see. I had some other statistics, but it says in 2018, 103 Uber drivers accused of sexual assault or abuse.
Yeah, that's a little bit too many.
One's too many. So the service that I offer, and I applaud anybody that wants to have any kind of background check, or I can provide. I mean, technically, I'm still a part-time cop. I'm a reserve. So I still have to hold the standards of a deputy sheriff. But I want to provide a service to people that they can trust. So, and when people call me and I explain to them the services that I offer, and they go, well, and then they might go, well, let me check, so I'm telling you right now, my services are going to be probably $40 more than an Uber, a cheap, shitty Uber,
right?
The cheapest Uber out there. Okay, and I'm providing a safe environment. Okay, not only am I a first responder, but the vehicle's equipped with, state-of-the-art first aid kit, a defibrillator. I offer all kinds of extras that are positive, and it's a safe environment. And people don't realize. I wouldn't expect to pay. You get what you pay for.
Right. Exactly.
So, I mean, when you go out, Jesse, you've used Uber before. I've used Uber before.
Yeah, Uber's super convenient. Mm-hmm. There's usually one around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
But the other option again is to plan the night ahead of time and hire a pro. But in the I think I had too many there. I got to leave my car and you don't have an appointment. Uber's next best thing.
Yeah, right. Or a friend. I mean, we all got friends.
Yeah, we do have friends.
We have friends. Or, if you're staying in a hotel and you're in a big city, the hotel usually provides transportation. You're better off in a freaking taxi cab.
Yeah.
Honestly, you're better off in a taxi cab than if you feel like what's more safe.
Yeah, taxis have to hold a license.
Yes. What's more safe? Do I do a but people don't want to pay the taxi rate.
Right.
So, and we're just very gullible. We're just gullible people. So, Jess, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go for it.
So, you're walking through the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Some guy comes up and says, "Hey, man, can I get your credit card?"
Right.
You're saying, "Fuck are you?" Yeah, you fucking out of your mind.
Right.
And this is where we fall into the gullible stage. Mm-hmm. Like when we all go to dinner. Okay. Unfortunately, technology is our nemesis.
Mm-hmm.
So when we go to a restaurant, we pay our bill. Either you pay with cash or you relinquish your credit card or your debit card to a total stranger. Okay. You don't know the waitress or waiter. Or if you're running a tab, you leave your card at the bar with the bartender, and he puts it with a stack of other credit cards, and you go off about your business. And then you go back and you get a drink, and he swipes your card again.
We are very trustworthy anymore.
Yes. Okay. So what I tell people is, if you can pay cash, we'll defeat a lot of the problems. So we're giving our card to a complete stranger who could, And like I said, I love it when they have those pay at the table machines, and you swipe it there, but you're giving it to a person who takes the card from you. Sometimes they disappear for 10 minutes. You know, when you're waiting to get your freaking, hey, I gave my card 10 minutes ago. And with these smartphones, if you're looking, all these waitresses and waiters are carrying phones in their pocket.
Yeah.
And then what's stopping them from taking a screenshot of your front card, your back card, and then you go back to the they're so friendly, so nice, You love them. They did great service.
Right.
You would trust him you trusted him with your bank account right there, basically.
Right.
Okay. You'd probably let them babysit your kids. And then they give you your card and you tip them well because they were so nice. And then you go home and then 2 days later you realize, hey, hon, did you order something from Amazon? No. Shit, we just got, a couple $100 ordered on Amazon. Or we got gift cards ordered and ordered. Who the hell that? And they'll never figure it out.
Yeah.
So these people, what's stopping anybody from doing that? So when people tell this to people, they're like, you know what? You're right. So when you use it as a theory of would you go out there and hitchhike a ride? Hell no. But you'll call a stranger that you don't know. It's the same thing. And I'm saying you have to trust somewhat. You have to have some kind of confidence.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying every Uber driver or Lyft driver or taxi cab driver are all bad. But there's a percentage of them that, a lot of them have a background that we don't know. There's Uber drivers that are legitimate. They're great people. They're fun. They have a good time. They enjoy what they do. But then there's some that have alternative motives. They linger around the bar areas. They try to pick up women. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They might. Then when they get you to your destination, they give you, hey, here's my number. So when you need a ride, just call me direct. Right. We won't go through Uber. Exactly. Now you're forming a relationship. And I've had something like that happen before, where an Uber guy picked up a lady from the airport. She had to go to Tampa to pick up her kid. And then from Tampa, he brought her back to the cruise ship. Well, when you reach one destination, your Uber, you got to log off. You can't just wait around for that. They got to go back in the queue, when they order back. Well, he didn't. He cashed her. He stopped to meet her there, and then jumped her back on again, and then stopped at Walmart, bought her a car seat for her kid, did all kinds of stuff. And then when he took her back to Port Canaveral, I think she owed him like $250. She said she only got $50 on her. Now you got, ouch. Yeah. Now you got a fight, and I've seen videos of Uber drivers. They get pretty hostile, when and I understand the customers some of them are not too pleasant.
No one wants to get screwed.
No. They could actually be arrested. You can't defraud, your share, your ride, your fare, so they have a lot of issues. So, and then when it comes to Ubers, do you know, when a guy shows up in his car, could have a freaking one of those mini spare tires on it, it's just, you don't know mechanically, is it sound, so somebody pointed out to me, why do you hire, a private vehicle versus an Uber? Because, and why do you buy, why do you keep a newer car? Because the newer cars are a lot more safer. I had a buddy of mine point that out to me today. They asked him, why do you get a car every year, every 2 years? He says, because the damn safety features are amazing. There's my car's got airbags all over the damn thing. It's got sensors, braking sensors, turn indicator sensors. It's got every sensor. It can park its goddamn self, and I proved that.
Yeah, you did. That was great.
I couldn't parallel park I can't parallel park for shit, and I didn't even know the car could do that. I watched YouTube, and they said, holy shit.
That's funny.
I'm figuring things out about this car that I didn't even know before. But I'm telling you, Jesse, you've rode in that car. That car is...
It's luxurious.
I'm telling you. And then people want to scrimp and scrape, and I understand, it's financially, but you got to think about your safety. What's your safety worth? What value do you put on your safety for one night? One decision you make in your life could be your last.
Right. You're already beating the $5,000 tab by not getting a DUI.
Yes.
When you choose, to not drive. Mm-hmm. But you're going to spend probably $100 at a bar.
Yeah, they're not cheap with that.
And then you're going to get chinchy on your fare.
And that's my point I was making. We scrimp and scrape on little things that are important.
Exactly.
Big things that are important. And then when it comes to, like, fuck, I don't want to pay that doctor bill. But we'll book a cruise for $1,800.
Oh, heck yeah.
And not blink an eye. And then when it comes to your safety, hey, you'll buy, Jaeger bombs and all kinds of tequila and drink and shit. And have a huge bar tab and then come out and go, fuck, I'll just catch a hitchhike ride.
Yeah, right. $20, that's way too much.
Yeah, so, I mean, and if you price your rides, people, price them. Price Uber. Because Uber prices, they vary from, like, peak hours. So you might get an Uber ride from our area to the airport for $60, $70. But it depends on the hour.
Right.
You might not be going a time that's the low hours, but I guarantee you, from 9 a.m. or between 8:45 and 10 a.m., Uber prices are almost doubled because the supply and demand.
Yeah, simple demand economics.
So my rate is cheaper than the mid-grade Uber, which is a Camry or a Prius or whatever. They go upwards to $182 from the port to the airport. $182.
That's door to door.
From the port, which is a straight shot, 54 miles. Not even one red light.
No, you're right. It is.
The only red light. You don't even
beeline to the airport.
Yeah, because when you get off on Cimarron, there's no red lights.
Right.
You get on the port, you got straight shot.
Yeah.
$182. The cheapest Uber was like $142 during peak hours. So I just don't get. I look at life a little bit differently because I value my safety. And I have a problem when I go on a cruise and then get into one of those shuttle vans, to go on an excursion.
So scary. In the Bahamas, you don't know who is driving you around.
Yeah.
Is a vehicle even going to with the wheels fall off first or what's going on?
Yeah. We don't think about our safety.
No. Most of them don't have AC. They're just very uncomfortable.
Well,
but here we go. Just like the tourists who rent the mopeds.
Oh, my God. That is
You don't know who was messing with that thing.
And they're on the wrong side of the road because
Yeah.
it's an English law.
Right.
They ride on the right side of the whatever. Our side, they ride on the opposite side. So these people are looking left when they should be looking right. They don't see anything left, so they pull out and get waffled by the direction they're supposed to be going.
Yeah, it's tragic, and it happens all the time. But, same thing. Those operators of those mopeds are just letting you take them. They're not qualifying you. Can you ride this? Do you know the local laws? They're not debriefing you on what to expect.
They want the money.
Exactly.
And it's it's a factory, man. Listen, I do this driving thing. Like I said, I wanted to provide a service and a safe environment for couples, people that want to get from A to B or spend an evening out and not have to be concerned about their well-being and their safety or the safety of somebody else trying to do something to them. I'm there to be able to react to whatever comes up, like I said. So we're gonna take our break here. I'm gonna finish up my little Zone Perfect nutritional bar. Whoa, somewhere.
Are those
And
good?
we're drinking our White Claws. We'll be back, and I'm gonna find out why I'm not seeing any comments, and maybe nobody's commenting on me. I don't know. But, we'll be back in just a few minutes on the Vinnie Marino podcast.
Hey, this is Trisha Schmalhofer, hostess of BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, and Mystics. This podcast is all about seeking knowledge, talking to experts, changing perspectives, channeling wisdom, and shifting consciousness. Listen as we invite a different badass guest each time from a variety of career fields who are living their purpose, spreading light, giving strength and hope, and changing lives every day. We stream live on Facebook, so like our page, interact with us, and watch the behind-the-scenes action. Find BAM, Badasses, Alchemists, and Mystics on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts under Space Coast Podcast Network. BAM!
You're listening to Space Coast Podcast, home of the greatest podcasts on the Space Coast. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor or having your own show, email us at spacecoastpodcast@hotmail.com.
Space Coast Podcast.
Talk hard!
Hey, welcome back. You got me with my zone bar in my mouth. All right, I'm done talking about that fucking Uber stuff, man. We're going to talk about more shit now. I want to say hello to some people that are on there. I couldn't see the comments before, so excuse me for not responding. Doug Monda, I want to say hi to you, man. Boy, you're really traveling. I would love, man. Dude, if you're still on, I would love to take a leg with you up there. Or, you know, go on one of them legs with you and see that live. I mean, you're speaking in front of some pretty big goddamn crowds, man. I'm impressed. You don't get stage fright, huh? But yeah, Doug, I'm super proud of you, man. You're going out there and doing a great job. I'll tell you, man. A couple weeks ago, I was really like aggravated with life, and I was going to call you. And that's the biggest mistake I ever say. I was going to call you. I thought about calling you because sometimes I just need to vent. And I need to vent with somebody who just listens, and then they can pick up on cues on some of the things I vent on, and you would be able to pick up on certain cues and say, all right, this guy's just venting, he's fucking pissed off, he's whatever, he's depressed, whatever, but I don't find any indicators that anything that I need to really be concerned with. So, but that's what I'm going to do for you, Doug. I'm going to call you and talk to you one day, and when I'm starting to feel like that, because I get those days, man, you know, and so I try to stay focused. I try to talk to somebody that's not gonna judge me, and you know, I really don't want a fucking solution, you know. I don't want to, you know, Jess.
Right.
Even though it's a good solution, I don't want a fucking solution. I just want to fucking vent.
Right. Let me just have my moment.
Yeah. Let me decompress it. I'm telling you, man. It's like, holy shit, man. I like this kind of talk, Jess, because I'm like real now. I don't want to talk like all this business shit, man. But yeah, Doug, I watched, you know, I see your posts and stuff, and that dude, let me tell you something, man. I looked at that FaceTime thing you did with Karen. She posted. That was weird, bro. You looked weird. I don't know, man. That was funny looking. I can't picture you like that, man. Laying in bed, hey, baby. I don't know, man. It's nice. I mean, that's the only communication you guys got, but, man, it was kind of weird that you were doing that. It's like, you're really kind of softy, huh? But, yeah, Doug, I'd like to find a short leg that you're going to do and fly up with you.
Yeah, I think that'd be great.
Yeah, man. I mean, I got a wealth of knowledge, man. I mean, I've been through the freaking ringer and back. Not, you know, we don't think about all what we've done at our career, but in our personal life as well. Mm-hmm. You know, we've had our ups and downs. We had our marriages, divorces. Now, I don't use that plurally, but we have marriage, divorce, and, you know, kids and kid problems, and, you know, girlfriend problems, boyfriend problems. We all have, you know, personal things. So what I say is, you know, when we talk about our problems, you know, we got to add, you know, because girlfriends are a big part, and pets too, you know. We forget about those things, you know. Oh, yeah. It's not just the wife, you know, because these guys who have girlfriends for life, you know, they have lifers, you know. So, and they're like a spouse, you know what I mean? Because there's guys who are, even though they're not married, they're living with a girl, or they've been dating a girl for several years. So that's a significant other, you know. But yeah, also Amanda, hey. What's up, Amanda? Who's that? Julie's on there. Hey, Julie. I'm running out of names already. Look at that. Chad, if Chad's still on. Steve Lyon. Hey, buddy, how are you? Thank you, Julie. Yeah, I have a factory of shirts like these, man. I try to wear a different one all the time. I do got a lot. I do have a lot. Mm. So, but I was kind of so. I read a story that these 4 flight attendants for United, they got arrested at the airport in Miami for laundering money.
Oh, okay. That's
yeah,
different.
they were bringing money in from, like, they were from overseas, and the customs like, you got any money on you? Man says, I don't know, got $100. And then after they went no further, he goes, well, I got more than that. I had like He had like $6,000. Another one had like $7,000. So it was a total of like 20-something thousand in cash. Where the fuck are they going with that? You know, I don't know. Maybe they hoard their money. But also in the news today, I saw that, which I'm really disgusted with, and I have my own, like I said, I have my own opinion about certain things. Hey, Doug, thank you, man. I let me know when you have a short leg, and I would definitely hop on with you, and then
He mentioned he's going to visit the president on Saturday.
get out.
That's what he just
Really?
Yeah, that's what
Where's
he posted.
Doug said that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go to the newest comments.
Headed to Chicago Friday. Get to me, man.
He said you could come.
You're going Friday. Well, you're coming back before Friday and leaving Friday again.
It sounds like he's going to Chicago Friday.
Yeah, headed to Chicago Friday.
And then meeting the president on Saturday.
Oh, I can't, dude. I got 2 trips on Friday that I got to do. Taking somebody to the airport, and then I am going directly from Orlando Airport to Melbourne, and then taking that person directly to Vero Beach to the Gloria Estefan Hotel. So, but I was watching today, which kind of aggravates me.
Which part?
Oh yeah, in Orlando, they're that Markeith Lloyd's been on trial.
Oh yeah.
The one-eyed guy. He's on his first trial for. I got you now, Amanda. I see the comments now. I don't know what the hell happened before, but hope you're doing well. Anyways, Markeith Lloyd they found him guilty of first-degree murder and of the both, the baby and then attempted murder of the brother. Fucking guy shows up there with 3 guns. It's totally dead to rights. Now the attorney's job, the public defender or whatever he is, the defense attorney's job, knows he's going to be found guilty, but his win is to keep him off the chair. Okay? So what I disagree with, and this is our system, it's the way it is. Well, they changed the law, I don't know, last year or 2 years ago, where they have to have a unanimous decision for the death penalty. Okay? It used to be the majority they sentenced to death.
Who, the jury?
The jury, yes.
Wow.
So they have the guilt phase and they have the penalty phase. So the penalty phase came up. It just started like Monday. And they present, let's just like another trial. Jury comes back. They, they talk. They go over the whole kind of case, all the evidence. They have people testifying. The family and all kind of what a great guy he is, and he's had a rough life. So and then they let the jury deliberate as far as whether he's going to be sentenced to death or get life in prison. So they had the information that they read, like their jury thing, and it says that they find that the state did prove the case beyond a reasonable doubt, so everything was proven. But they did not come to a unanimous vote to sentence him to death. Now my goddamn problem is, I think that the jury, the people, should be the guilt and innocent phase. Leave it when it comes to a death penalty case.
Right.
Leave it to the professionals that have no emotions, they take an oath to uphold and do the right thing by the color of the law.
Yeah, I think the judges should control this.
Because there's people on that panel, when they have a death case, they ask these people, can you find somebody guilty and sentence them to death? Mm-hmm. And there's people that are professional saboteurs. Mm-hmm. They say, just to get on a trial, oh yeah, I could be fair and impartial. And I could do this. And then when you have all that convincing evidence to show that he did what he did, and then for them to go, well, we can't put him to death, so he's going to get life in prison. Okay. Some people feel, hey, didn't enough people die? Do we have to kill this guy? Or they have a bleeding heart. Oh, I have sympathy for him because I heard his family say what a rough life he had and all this shit. You know what I mean? I think that the freaking judge should be the one to put the hammer down based on the evidence, based on everything that comes out of that case, his past history, and not get sympathy for him because he had a rough life. That wasn't his first rodeo. I mean, there were cops they brought in that he assaulted back in other incidents to show his propensity for violence. Okay? Now, not only did he kill them, what they don't know about the next case, I mean, they all know, but it's not tried yet, but when he killed the sergeant in Orlando Police Department. That was a cold-blooded murder. And my problem is they sentence him to death, to life, without the chance of parole. So this guy's going to be able to walk, breathe the air, and when he goes to prison for that charge, they don't keep him in lockdown. He runs around in population like everybody else. He gets canteen. He gets to go to recreation. He gets library. He gets to go to church. He gets visitations. He gets all kinds of shit. Mm-hmm. So to me, there's no justice for the family of the victim. They can, he can get Christmas cards. He can get a job in the jail, in the prison.
Oh yeah, you can earn money.
Yes. I mean, it's not a questionable case. It's a freaking cold-blooded killing.
Yeah, and someone with nothing to lose. I apologize.
So when they put the fucking jury to a unanimous vote, all they need to do, the defense, is get one person to disagree and say, nope, I can't do it. And it's not a hung jury. Our vote is 12-1. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how can they not put? So now when this trial comes up for the cop, and again, it's going to go, they'll probably find him guilty, then they'll go to the penalty phase, and they might, depends. It all depends on the jury, man. You don't know what these people are going to do. When you think you have an open and shut case of a victory or find a man guilty, the son of a bitches come back with a not guilty. These are human beings. They can say whatever it is they want to get somewhere. Those people were sequestered since day one when they were picked, when they were selected. So I say, I'm worried about this next trial. If they don't sentence this man to death, I lost confidence in this jury as far as the sentencing. They should leave it up to the people who can make those decisions. The judge. That's, they sentence people they sentence people to life in prison without a jury. They do it because that's their job.
Yeah, I would say one or two more judges, a jury of judges.
Yeah. Explain it to a panel of 3 judges or 4 judges or 5.
Right.
Okay, for the death penalty. And let the 5 judges, and unanimous wins. 3-2. If they vote death, they go to death. They get death. So it's kind of like, I don't know. I'm just kind of torn about that today. I thought they would give this guy, but it's like, what do they think? And then there was I kudos to this judge, man. They had a judge in this county get reprimanded for implying she wouldn't mind if a convicted killer dies. Yeah. Good for her.
All right.
She's in hot water after she leveled a verbal blast at a convicted murderer in her courtroom. Admits to inappropriate conduct after suggestion she hopes the murderer will die within 6 weeks. This guy was charged with murder in 2000, and I guess the death penalty was overturned because they didn't have he was given a life sentence after, because all those people that were sentenced to death, they had to redo them, and they were overturned.
Right.
So he was given a life sentence, after which a judge out of view of the court's camera system told him what she thought. You know what? What happened to freedom of speech? Unfortunately, we can't. Freedom of speech does not apply to law enforcement, government workers, judges, anybody that enforces the Constitution. I know in California that wouldn't happen. California, they hang your ass, man. California's tough. I say Texas. I'm sorry, Texas. Did I say California?
Yeah.
Nah.
Well, California's been in the news.
Oh, yeah. California, they feed you ice cream and cookies, man, when you kill somebody. Shit, man. So, yeah, I thought that was really upsetting. And I think the other trial, I don't know when the other trial is going to start for the police officer, but I'd like to ride out there one day and just sit in and watch one of those. The decision that, not to get into politics, I hate talking about politics, but I like to talk about some things that people, they get so hyped up over about the president pulling our troops out.
Oh, yeah, that's been all the fuss.
But you know what? We've never had a tough president like this. And he levied a lot of fucking tariff problems with these. He told them, hey, man, we'll cripple your ass economy. We're going to cripple you. Keep it up. And he said they needed this 3-day little blast at each other, whatever. We can't. He said that war's been going. We were supposed to be there for 30 days. He said, Go in, go out, quick, easy, 30 days. We've been there for 10 years. Now he's putting responsibility on other countries to go in there and help, not just us. And they're at peace now. Now they stopped. They did a ceasefire. Now that's it. They're done. They got a 20-mile safe zone. I posted it. He's not full of shit. The guy's doing. And these people know. These other presidents are saying, "Whoa, we can't. This guy's serious. We can't push over. We can't give a pushover on this guy because he's gonna hit us in the pocket." And that's where power is, dude. Power is not in the knuckles and in how much you can flex. Power's in the money.
Absolutely.
Money is not the root of all evil. The love for money is the root of all evil.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to be powerful with money. Look at Tony Montana. Hey, Tony Montana. I forgot he said, it's all about money is power.
Yeah.
So, then there's a story. Florida inmate charged with feeding iguanas to alligators at a zoo. What's wrong with that?
That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that.
That happens in Jurassic Park. Everybody loves those movies.
Now, people were complaining about Netflix. They were complaining that they're getting pissed off because they're sharing the password. People are sharing, I can give you my password. So they said, turns out Netflix isn't taking any immediate action to curb password sharing.
They're still super successful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So what else is going on in the news, Jess? That I talked about my limo business, and I talked about, the being safe. And I can just tell you this, people, to recap on that, man. Just think about your safety. Think about the things we do that, you shouldn't have to have somebody tell you to, and then you raise an eyebrow. As far as like relinquishing our credit card to a server. If you can get cash out, pay cash. If you can get a friend, if you're afraid of Uber and that's the last resort and you can't get a friend, be very cautious. You can't request an Uber female driver either. You cannot request, I want a female. It doesn't happen. You get what you get with Uber. So think about your safety. Think about what your net worth is. Think about your loved ones, because they already had that one girl who got into the wrong Uber thinking it was the Uber driver, and she got in the car and he had the child lock on. And she's dead. It wasn't an Uber driver, but it was, again,
there's predators.
You get these people who, I'm telling you, I can prove everything and give you a safe feeling by word of mouth, by my career, and everything else. My job, my number one goal is to provide a safe environment and have, people to say, you know what, I can go out and be comfortable and not have to worry about a thing. I'm riding in class. I could ride in a Honda Civic that smells like, the ass of an elephant, or it smells like, like a whorehouse. They put
just Lysol.
Yeah, and then you got rules and regulations in there. They put signs up in there. No this, no that. Give me 5-star. I don't care. All I ask on me is just give me a positive comment on my website. They can rate me, but I'm not like Uber. And then word of mouth. I do what I can to get the word out, but I'm just doing this because it's something for me to do to provide a safe, secure environment. And like I said, I go anywhere, man. Somebody asked me, well, I was going to call you, but I didn't know if you did like a short. I said, hey, man, the wheels are moving. The car's making money. You know what I mean?
That's right.
I'll do short runs. I'll do long runs. I'll do whatever it is, man. I don't pick and choose. Oh, it's only, if you want to go from here to Melbourne, I'll take you from here to Melbourne. I'm not charging you by the mile, and I'm not charging you by like a minimum hourly rate, So, there's things that, that you got to look out for, man. And I'm just trying to be honest and say, hey, pick who you want. If you don't want to use me, I'm good with that. I just want you to have this knowledge. So when you do hire for a vehicle, and you know what you're hiring, because Ubers are they're getting rides all day long. but you got to be careful.
Yeah, you can't put a bride and groom in a Uber on their way to the airport. You know, I mean,
No.
when you put on a nice gown and a tuxedo, you really want to ride in an Uber or you want to show up in style?
Yeah. I mean, this county doesn't have the demand for this Uber Black and Uber Luxury or Lyft Lux and stuff. They don't have the demand here for that. So you're going to get an Uber. If you're going to Uber like an Uber XL, it could be a van.
Right.
You can't say I want a Suburban. You just got to keep rolling the dice.
Right.
You know, and then if you have a dispute, but you can order an Uber medium like the XL, not the XL, what you got, Uber X, Uber, whatever it's called, like the mid-grade. Mm-hmm. But you can get a van. Because the van people can take the Uber X one, the smallest one. They can jump each other.
Oh yeah.
But you're getting you can get an Uber. Say I want a mid-size Uber. I don't want to get a small one. But it could be a Honda Accord, a Camry.
It could be late model.
Late model. They don't. So if you're going to be in like an Uber Luxury, they have guidelines because they charge more money. So think about those things that I touched on. So when you go to hire, look at it. Okay, well, Uber's 80, this guy's 90, that guy's 120. So the difference is, $40 or something. You know what I mean? If the difference is $40 and you can get a much greater service with a much greater driver and background and who knows where he's going, I don't just get in the car and go, where are you going? And I make sure my plans are charted and I don't look stupid when I'm in the car. That's the last thing I ever want to do. So anybody that's interested, like I said, we got holidays coming up. That's Christmas parties and everything else. Don't go, because what happens at Christmas parties? We drink, we have a good time, and the DUIs are inflated during the holiday season. So a DUI one time is probably going to cost, first time is probably cost you $10,000. Probably going to cost you a year suspension on your driver's license. Insurance is going to go through the ass through the roof. I mean, first time offense, man.
Hardship license, 1 year probation, and usually like a $500
$500 fine.
Fine.
Driving course,
$5,000 bond.
Yeah. No, it's not a $5,000. It's usually an OR if you're in there over like more than 8 hours or 12, whatever it is. Mm. But you ain't getting right away. You ain't getting a release right away. You ain't getting bonded out right away. You got to make sure you sober up.
Oh yeah.
So you think about it, $10,000 plus your insurance is going to kill you.
Now you don't have a vehicle to get to work.
That's right.
So now you're not, you got to account for the lost wages.
Then if you get one and you go, all right, I got one, but I'm not going to get another one. Then you get another one. A second DUI conviction, that's 10 days mandatory in jail. So a lot of people can afford it. They just they just figure, hey, I'm just catching a ride. I'll just get in it. Or I'll just catch a ride. Or I'll just jump in my car and drive. It's only 3 miles. With these holiday parties, you want to dress up nice, you want to go in style, give us a ring, man. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. I provide so much more than the average Joe. And
tell me your number.
My phone number is, I got a Q Limo page. I got a Facebook page, the Q Limo LLC. I got a Facebook page, it's QLimoFL.com. The phone number is 321-501-3039. It's on the card. And you see the card that's been posted. That's the actual car itself. It's not a car cut out of the pamphlet, the magazine, the brochure. That is the ride. I post pictures on my Facebook page. I also do PayPal. I take credit cards. You can, and if you don't feel like comfortable swiping your card, if you have a PayPal account, you could just automatically, I'll give you the link and you send it right through there through PayPal, safe, secure. So I have many ways to pay. And it's just, I know I was going to talk back about this damn business, but because I like being fun.
Yeah.
I like to be fun. But that's the thing, man. That the actual picture of my car is on the screen. And if you go on my Facebook page, it's Q Limo FL. I think that's what it is. I think that's what it is.
No, I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, it is. And, cause I don't really,
it's on the bottom of the card.
It's like knowing phone numbers, you don't, it's on the bottom of the card. Mm-hmm. It is, what does it say, Jess?
FB.com/, Q Limo FL.
Q Limo FL, Facebook. Go on there. You can check out the appointments. I can book you right on there. But for Christmas and stuff like that, yeah, we I'll give good rates because I don't want people to get arrested. So I can negotiate your pricing on holidays because I don't want to be the Grinch, because the Grinch is out there in the form of a police cruiser, and they will throw your ass in the slammer. So be smart. Think about what you're going to do for your holiday parties if you want to ride. I have special rates for holidays. I give special rates to LEOs, military, and, anybody that wants a good deal. And, I like I said, I want to provide a service, and I don't want people to feel like I might have to walk because I can't afford it. But or drive their own car. So we'll make it a good time. I want to thank everybody for joining in. Know that they're going to be watching later down the road. I want to thank the Space Coast Podcast, producer Jesse. Thanks to the ones that have joined in. As always, support our country. Support the man in charge of our country who's doing the best that he can for our country with the cabinet that he has. So thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys. I'll try to be on next week if I plan on it. If not, then I'll see you 2 weeks from now. Thanks again for watching the Vinnie Marino Podcast. Have a great evening.